Still dealing with a Leo moon. Let me make it a little bigger for y'all. There you go. So as you can see here, we still dealing with the moon is still in Leo. The sun it just now moved to 3 degrees. But if you see this line, if you look at this line here, it's in opposition to Pluto. If I move it back just 1 hour, if you see this line here, it was trine to Neptune. It's just, but the sun cast a wide orb, so this is still in the air, right? This too. And this new moon is still in the air, right? Because not only does the sun cast a wide orb, but the moon cast a wide orb as well. And you can see this. What is this right here? This is Mercury. Mercury is sitting at 13 degrees Leo, and Mercury is currently at 13 degrees Leo, and it's retrograde. You see the red here? Red means retrograde. But if you also look over here at Neptune and Saturn, they're both at red, which meaning they are Neptune retrograde. And if you look at Pluto over here, it's red as well, which means it is retrograde. So currently in the sky, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 planets retrograde, which would be Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, and Mercury. Now, like I said, this what's going on right now? The sun is making an aspect to the three of the outer planets, all retrograde, and we're still in this new moon energy. And the moon is sitting right next to a retrograde planet in the form of Mercury. Now, with all that being said, let's start to unpack this energy, right? I don't know if you saw the I don't know if you saw the I don't know if you saw the picture or the title of this 2 o'clock session, but it was called A Light in the Rearview Mirror. A light in the rearview mirror. Why a light in the rearview mirror? Well, I just showed you on the thing. We have the sun and the moon. Both the sun and the moon are called luminaries. They're the 2 luminaries, right? And they are having a dance with retrograde planets. Light doesn't shine forward, it illuminates the path behind us, revealing treasures that we left along the way. Hence the title, A Light in the Rearview Mirror. Now, like I said, I got deeper in the other video, but this new moon arrives as a sacred interruption, a moment where the universe asks us to take a pause, turn around, and reclaim parts of ourselves that we may have forgotten about. The sun and the moon, which is, like I said, is our cosmic luminaries, the king and the queen, mom and dad. You insert your authority figure here, representing consciousness and will, unconscious and unconscious wisdom. And they united in Leo, forming a complex web of aspects with retrograde planets. Like I said, the sun is at 2 degrees Leo, and it's in opposition to a retrograding Pluto at 2 degrees in Aquarius. The moon in Leo is also conjunct a retrograding Mercury, and the sun is trine exactly at 2 degrees, a retrograding Neptune, and let's throw Saturn in there just for shits and giggles. It's a 1 degree away. Now, like I said, this is a new moon, and new moons is about fresh beginnings, new starts, and stuff like that. But this new moon is not just a typical new moon. When you throw in the retrograde, it's like a cosmic archaeological expedition. Can anybody say Indiana Jones? And what does Indiana Jones do? He went and looked for buried treasure. And this new moon is actually about you being Indiana Jones and going back to find your authentic self and integrate that old authentic self, buried parts of yourself, with parts of yourself today and integrate it into your personal reality. All right. Now, I've also always told y'all that when looking at energy and trying to understand energy, it's like building it's layers. And with anything with layers, you got to understand each layer and then put it all together into one pie, cake. Insert yourself. So let's start with the big thing, the opposition of the sun to retrograding Pluto. Now, we all know what the sun represents, and if you're unfamiliar, Pluto is the planet of transformation. Pluto is the planet of death and transformation, right? And the sun is our core. And this core luminary is in a tug of war, tension between individual radiance, the sun in Leo, and collective transformation, which would be Pluto, retrograding Pluto in Aquarius. Aquarius represents the collective, right? The sun rules Leo. Now, this opposition creates a cosmic face-off between your desire to shine authentically and the deep, undergrounded shifts happening in the collective consciousness. We see what's going on out there in society. You look what's on out there in the world. How do you do what you got to do and remain authentic in this cesspool of chaos? Now, this aspect brings up some shadow work. This aspect asks you got to realize if you Pluto, death and regeneration, right? And with that, it's going to bring up some uncomfortable questions. Like this. Where have you dimmed your light to fit in, belong, or just to avoid confrontation? With Pluto moving in retrograde motion through Aquarius, we're revisiting power dynamics because Pluto is all about power within groups, communities, and society at large. You may find yourself confronting internalized fears about standing out. Are you scared to be the weirdo? Are you scared to be the only one in a bow tie at a formal gathering? Ways you've given away your power to gain acceptance. Hey, I'll give away a little bit of this to gain a little bit of that. The difference between healthy self-expression and ego domination. What are you doing it for? Also, ancestral or karmic patterns around authority and rebellion. Aquarius, is ruled by modern Uranus, right? Which points to rebellion. And Saturn traditionally rules Aquarius and air. And people don't think Saturn's about rebellion, but in all actuality, Saturn's rulership sits in opposition to the two luminaries from Aquarius and Capricorn. Capricorn and Aquarius are opposite Leo and Cancer, in which the sun and moon rule. Right? Now, transformation, I said Pluto is about transformation, and people get scared of that, but this isn't just a purge. It's because you got to throw Leo to, it's a rebirth of radiance. Leo's fire wants to express itself fully, but Pluto demands that this expression be earned through shadow integration. The result? A more authentic, powerful, and magnetically attractive version of yourself. What? A more authentic, powerful, magnetically attractive version of yourself? Who wouldn't want that? I would say everybody wants that. But to have that, you got to go through, you got to be baptized in the fire. Man baptizes with water, but the Most High, the universe, God, insert your deity here, they baptize through fire. Ouch! Ooh-wee! Fire burns. You remember that election, Bernie Sanders? You gotta feel the burn. We got some Vaseline. Go put some Vaseline on top of that. You'll be all right. Now, I also said that the moon, the other luminary, is conjunct retrograding Mercury. You see right here, 1314 right now, currently in the sky. By the way, y'all, we adding another layer. We moving on. Here's another layer. The moon's conjunction with Mercury retrograde in Leo creates a perfect storm for emotional time travel. Moon, emotions, backwards, just travel in time. Mercury. This aspect merges the feeling Moon with thinking. Mercury. Intuition, moon with communication. Mercury. But all filtered through the lens of Mercury's backward motion, retrograde. So we are taking a look at things, but with the retrograde stuff, it adds a different feel and a different flavor to what's going on. All right. So with this retrograde review, rewind, reminisce, what is some of the things that could possibly be surfacing during this time? Long buried creative dreams demanding attention. You remember that dream you had back in the day? You used to tell everybody about it. What happened to that? Other people may have forgot about that dream, but did you? Is that dream still laying around in you somewhere? Just waiting to come out. Knock, knock, knock. Can Johnny come out and play? Speaking of Johnny, childhood or adolescent emotions seeking resolutions. You know how everybody talk about that inner child? Well, for that inner child to come out and play, it's still hiding in fear in this room, crawled up in the corner, because you never really truly resolve the issues that sent that child in that corner in the first place. So some of that can come up now. Truths you wasn't ready to speak to until now. You know, that is that person, or that is that situation that you seen the truth and you known the truth, and somebody is asking you for the truth and you were scared to speak to it. You might be ready to speak to it now. You just had to think about the correct things and the right things to say. Well, could the correct things and the right things to say actually really just be the truth? Now, another thing that could come up, stories about yourself that need to be rewritten. What does that mean? You know, that story that everybody tells when you go back home. That story when you was 15, 16, 17. But now you 42. You ain't 15, 16, 17. But why do you allow these people to continue telling that story? Like that version of you is still you. Man, you know how many years I done lived? Why you keep telling that story? So stop allowing people to tell your story. And now it's time to rewrite what they say. Lastly, your inner voices that were silenced or dismissed. You know, that voice in the back of your head that you've been telling you, that he's telling you, you know you should be doing this. You know you should be doing that. Why aren't you? Why not? That voice. Now here's the question. It ain't me saying that. That's that inner voice in your head. Why aren't you doing it? Have you answered that voice? This conjunction offers a rare opportunity to reclaim your narrative. Stop letting others say the narrative. How they know? Have they asked you enough questions to truly know the details of the story? They just out here willy-nilly. You're not just remembering the past, you're retrieving forgotten pieces of your story, weaving them together to make it more complete. The more honest version of who you are. This new moon is, like we say, it's about planting seeds, and planting seeds usually is about moving forward. But this new moon in Leo is not about moving forward, it's about becoming whole again. Leo is ruled by the sun. Another layer placed on this interpretation. Moving on to the next layer. I told you in the beginning that the sun was at 2 degrees, 3 degrees, and it cast a wide orb. And we had two planets. I really spoke of one, Neptune, but Saturn's right there too. We don't want to forget him, but they're sitting in Aries. Leo is a fire sign. Aries is a fire sign. So that is creating a trine aspect, which is supporting energy. It is of Jupiter's, like Jupiter energy, expansion, growth. And so it's supporting energy. While the sun and Pluto, let's not forget the sun is still in opposition to Pluto in Aquarius, provides tension for transformation. This trine is actually giving support. It's a harmonious with Neptune retrograde, and Aries offers a mystical balm. Didn't I say we have some Vaseline? Y'all should be lucky. I remember when we used to get scrapes and burns and all that stuff. We used to have to get this stuff and put on. It was called methylate. It was methylate mercurochrome. I think it was methylate. That shit used to burn. Hey, go get the methylate. Oh, hell no. You want to know the equivalent of, just picture, you ever put alcohol on a cut? Methylate was worse than alcohol on a cut. But I continue. The divine remembering. Neptune in Aries is like a gentle fire burning beneath the surface of your consciousness. It's not clouding your vision. It's helping you remember a divine calling. I know people like to go the negative way, but, Neptune is dreams and wishes as well. Spiritual, connected to divine. That's why they're talking about that. Or the inner vision that may have postponed, obscured, or sacrificed a more practical pursuit. Retrograde, this trine can bring up creative renaissance. Intuitive or creative artistic expressions can come to you now. if you let the energy flow. Remember I say the universe baptizes with fire? It's about mystic storytelling and symbolic thinking, compassionate action rooted in spiritual wisdom, the ability to channel archetypal energies into personal work. What does that mean? It kind of means when I be saying know thyself and balance your energy, what do I mean? It's about knowing your chart, knowing your planets, knowing your energy, knowing what Virgo can do, knowing what Scorpio can do, knowing what Gemini can do, knowing what Sagittarius can do and not do. And then using that to your best of ability to manifest the energy how you want it to manifest and not just letting the energy do what it want to do. This ain't a time to be just imagining things. This is a time of remembering the things that you once dreamed of, that your soul came here to live. Why'd you forget it? Society, your people in them, scared to be you? What the dealio? I don't know. Only you can answer that. Now, before the moon, I said the moon is in Leo, right? And the moon's going to be in Leo till tomorrow afternoon. Then it's going to be going into Virgo. And then from Saturday till we're going to spend the weekend with the moon in the sign of Virgo. Where are your Virgo placements in your chart? But before the moon gets into Virgo, it's going to have make an aspect to the wounded healer, Chiron. Chiron. You see Chiron over here in Aries, right here. Before the moon gets out of here into here, Virgo, it's going to make an aspect to this Chiron. Again, fire to fire. What did I tell you fire to fire was? Fire to fire is trine. Earth to earth is trine. Air to air is trine. Water to water is trine. And I told you trine is of Jupiter's energy, is of growth and expansion. And when the moon, this moon trine to Chiron and this fire is offering a healing bridge. Just before it changes signs and goes into analytical Virgo, the server Virgo, and all of this. The moon's going into the sign of details and all that. With all this stuff is retrograde, so we're gonna have all these points get hit, and then you got a moon gonna go in and say, "Hey, won't you reflect on this?" Now, like I said, it's going to form a trine aspect to Chiron at 27 degrees Leo. Chiron's at 27 degrees Aries. This aspect represents courage through tenderness, the willingness to feel your wounds fully so they can finally heal. Pull that goddamn Band-Aid off. Let that shit scab up. Pull that scab up off. Let that skin go ahead and heal back. Feel that stuff. And don't put no numbing cream on it. Pull it off and feel it. Let it burn. Feel the pain. You want to know why you want to feel the pain? Maybe that'll be incentive not to get back in that position no goddamn more. Chiron and Leo speaks to our core wounds. Chiron and Aries. But with this aspect to the moon in Leo, it's about self-expression and creative confidence. It's about feeling like you're being seen, valued, and appreciated. Oh, you don't appreciate me? Why be around? Oh, you got to make yourself feel liked. Says who? Do you like you? That's all that matters. Childhood experiences of being overlooked or criticized. Leo likes to be the center of attention. Do you feel like you was overlooked, passed over for promotions and stuff like that? Overly criticized? Can you take criticism, and was that criticism constructive and you just didn't know how to handle it? Which is which? Only you can answer that. The fear of being too much, but the opposite of that is not enough. Are you being too much to handle? Or are you placating to everybody else and not enough for yourself? This trine offers emotional support for healing these deep-seated wounds. I don't know, will you take this opportunity? You might find yourself feeling compassion for past hurts or discovering that nurturing your inner child is the key to unlocking your creative potential. But potential can be the kiss of death, because the other side of potential is wasted potential. Ouch. Like I said, we're going to spend the rest of the weekend with the moon in Virgo. As the moon moves into Virgo on Saturday afternoon, the energy shifts it from emotional to practical integration. But the energy's here to help you, not hurt you and not criticize you. Don't believe that about Virgo energy. Don't believe the hype in my Flavor Flav voice. It's bringing you the opportunity to sort through the insights you've gained through all this reminiscing and rewinding and reflecting. Create practical plans for implementing what you discover. Okay, you discovered this. You see your little child over there in the corner. What you gonna do about it? Refine and perfect your newly remembered dreams. MLK had a dream. I have a dream. We all remember what they did to him. Is his dream still alive? Is your dream still alive? Serve others through your authentic expression. The door and the window is open up for you to do all of that. This is a time about returning to artistic or your expressive endeavors that once fed your soul. Your stomach and this This earthly body needs to eat, but your soul needs feeding too. Are you feeding your soul, or are you starving it? Do you need to get up and go get your soul a sandwich? This is also a time about emotional truth telling. Do you have a problem speaking from the heart with radical honesty? Are you afraid to speak from the heart because you are afraid to offend or hurt or trigger? But if you offend or hurt or trigger, is that actually on you? Or is it on the person who got triggered to figure out, why is this triggering me in the first place? That is what true healing is really about. Do you want to heal? Do you want to talk about it? Or do you want to be about it? The choice is yours. Like we say, we all got free will. Let's not forget Pluto and Aquarius, Sun and Leo. It's also a time about learning how to wield your authentic power without domination or fear. Do you have the power like He-Man? I have the power, but you scared to swing your sword? Let's not forget, it's about revising the story you tell about yourself and your purpose. Haven't you told that story a million times? Aren't you tired of telling that same ass story? I don't know why you're tired of telling that. I'm not tired of telling that story, because you don't want to know why. People around you are tired of hearing it. They just haven't told you. So, hey, we were just talking about truth. I'm telling you the truth. That story that you told 20,000, 1,100 times, the people around you wish you would stop talking about that shit. Stop it. Also, let's not forget the inner child revival, that child in the corner that you left hiding in the closet. It's about healing and integrating the younger parts of yourself. You the one that abandoned that part. Yeah, it was wounded, but go get him. Go do something about it. Go retrieve. You know, in the military, they say, we don't leave a soldier on the battlefield. Well, your soldier, your childhood inner child is on the battlefield wounded, and you left him on the battlefield. Her on the battlefield. Go get your child. Get your kids out the street. Oh, shit. So, how could you work with this energy? Instead of pushing forward, maybe it's time to pull back. What's better? Take 2 steps forward to take 1 step back, or take 1 step back to take 2 steps forward. Journal about your childhood dreams and passions. Do you remember them? Can you recall? Maybe you're going to have to, reflect on that. Revisit creative projects that you abandoned. You remember that painting you told yourself you was trying to do? You remember that photo album you told yourself you was going to put together? That sewing you told yourself you was going to get? Remember you was going to sew them buttons back on that shirt? You ever did that? Or is it still abandoned project? Have honest conversations about where you've hidden your light. You know, who are you really lying to? Us or yourself? Maybe you need to sit yourself down and say, hey, we need to have a talk. Practice expressing yourself authentically in small and safe ways. What's that mean? For you to be able to do that, you got to be around people you trust, people that respect you, people that honor you, so you can truly be yourself. And the more you do it around this person, that person, the more you get out and come out into this matrix, it's going to energize you to be more of that. Meditate on what power means to you now versus the past. You know, early in life, late teens, early 20s, you may have had a plan or thought for your life. Now, at 45, 50, you're sitting up here feeling all down on yourself that plan didn't come true. Have you ever thought, looking back, that a plan that you made as a 20-year-old, looking back as a 45, 50-year-old, that plan wasn't a feasible plan anyway? And you are holding yourself to something that you came up with when you was 20, 21. Now, think about this. At your age now, 40, however you old, 40, 50, would you go get life advice from someone who's 19, 20 years old? Now, I'm not saying they won't have something, but how much should you hold yourself to that life advice from a 19, 20-year-old? You ever thought about that? You actually doing it with yourself. You are that 19-year-old, 20-year-old who came up with a plan earlier in life, and you're trying to hold yourself to this life plan that this youngster came up to it to. It's okay. Let that shit go. Maybe that shit wasn't logical anyway. Maybe that wasn't your true path in the first place. Now, y'all know I didn't come empty-handed. What do I mean by I didn't come empty-handed? I came with some homework for y'all. Homework? Man, you just was talking about us being 40, 50 years old. School is over with. Man, I said you got some homework. You can do it or not, but what do I have here for you? I have some reflection questions here for you. Now, I believe my forum is still open. But if you want, if this video is up, y'all can leave responses to these reflection questions. Or you can send me an email. Or you could do it on your own, keep it to yourself. It don't matter. Question number 1. Where have I given away my power to gain acceptance? Where have you given away your power to gain acceptance? What truths am I ready to speak that I couldn't speak to before? What truths am I ready to speak to that I couldn't speak to before? Which childhood dreams are calling me back? Come into the light, Carol Ann. Come into the light. Are you scared to go into the light like Carol Ann? Come into the light. How can I express myself authentically without ego games? Yo, I'm just being me. It ain't ego, it's just me. Huh? How could you walk in this matrix and be you and not have people say PU? What would I create? No. What would you create if you knew it won't fail? What would you be doing right now if the fear of failure was thrown out the window? That's a deep one there, huh? Y'all get back to me on that one. Like I said, the moon is still in Leo, so we are still in this new moon energy. As you look back in order to move forward with integrity, it's a time to heal before you reveal. Remember before you perform. You don't want to get out on that stage and forget all your lines. Integrate before you act. You're being offered a chance to revive lost parts of your soul and weave them into a more complete, radiant version of yourself. Who wouldn't like that? This isn't about starting over. It's about becoming who you've always been beneath the layers of conditioning, compromising, and fear of being who you truly are, who you truly want to be. The word for that is authentic self. The light in the rearview mirror isn't just illuminating where you've been. It's showing you the golden threads of authenticity that can follow you home to yourself. And I hope y'all make it home. The street lights are about to come home. You better get there before the street lights come home or you're going to get in trouble. And I don't want you to get punished. But we sitting up here punished. I'm 50. I come from the corporal punishment days. We used to get spankings. Y'all got it easy. We would get a spanking, pick up the phone, call the cops. The cop would come over there and give us a spanking too. And y'all want to call child services. Child who? Service who? Oh, man. You know, like I said, I did do a video on the new moon breakdown. And I did run through the rising signs. I did, but instead of, I do want you to go check the whole video out, but maybe I can give you a abbreviated version of kind of what I said. Aries rising. Leo is your 5th house. Mars rules your 1st and your 8th. Creativity, sexuality, children, and performance. Your fire is center stage. What creative risks are worth taking? Mars in Virgo will refine how you show up. Jupiter in your 4th, Saturn in your 1st, home and family, healing meets leadership. Taurus rising. Ancestral healing and emotional sovereignty. Intentions rise from family roots. What does belonging really mean for you? Your 5 to your 6 of Wands. Heal your foundation, then rise. Full moon. By the time we get to the full moon, it's about claiming your place by reclaiming your voice. Gemini rising, voice and soul message. Your words are fire this month. Speak your truth or feel the burn. Back to that. 5 to 6 of Wands. Chaos clarifies your mission. By the time we get to the full moon, February 1st, communicate with soul, not strategy. Cancer rising. Values plus self-worth plus rest. This portal tests what you truly value. Money or meaning. 5 of Wands to 6 of Wands. Root your power in truth, not price. Full moon. February. Earned abundance or ego correction. Leo rising. This is your rebirth of self. This is your ego death and soul coronation. Shed that mask. Your 5 of Wands to 6 of Wands. Show up real or be shown the door. Don't let the wood hit you where the good Lord split you. Your full moon, authentic self, your authentic self expression wins. Virgo rising, spiritual trials and hidden battles. You're walking through an invisible fire. Let your soul lead. Five of Wands to Six of Wands. Private victory becomes soul liberation, leading up to the full moon. Endings bring freedom. Huh? What? Libra rising, community and soul vision. Are you performing for your tribe or standing in your truth? Five of Wands to Six of Wands. Authentic contribution, that's what really gets seen. Your full moon, true allies rise. False ones must fall. Scorpio rising, purpose plus legacy pressure. It's time to lead from the soul, not from the script. Sometimes you just can't look at the book and the rules. You just got to do your thing. Your Five of Wands to Six of Wands journey. Align your work with your truth. Because by the time you get to the full moon, it's about recognition or reckoning. Sagittarius rising, truth plus philosophy realignment. Is your soul message soul-led or ego-fed? Five to Six of Wands. Walk your talk, then speak it. Full moon. Teach from experience, not theory. Capricorn rising. Power dynamics and intimacy evolution. Control issues or ego attachments are burning off. Your Five to Six of Wands journey. Let the false die. Earn sacred trust. Your full moon. Soul contracts activate or dissolve. Aquarius rising, relationships and projection work. You attract what you suppress. It's time to see clearly. The Five to Six of Wands, partnership must be truth-based. Your full moon, contract renewal or karmic break. Pisces rising. Healing, purpose, and service. Work, your body, and rhythms are the soul's proving ground. Five to Six of Wands. Sacred service also needs boundaries. Your full moon. purpose is your peace. This Leo lunar cycle is a creative fire test. Will you act from the soul or from the image? You know, Leo don't like to look bad. This new moon will strip away false pride. Hopefully, by the time we get to the full moon, your true crown lights up. As Saturn moves direct and Jupiter moves retrograde, we're being asked to slow down and listen inward and build from real integrity. This isn't about performance, it's about presence. Let the ego die so your soul can rise.